Morticians of Reddit, what's the strangest things you've experienced at a funeral? A few years back, I was working a funeral for a guy who had been a huge jerk his whole life. He was a drunk, abusive, and generally just a terrible person. He had 3 kids who all hated him, and his wife had left him years ago. The only reason they were having a funeral at all was because his mother was still alive and wanted one for her son. The funeral was being held in a small church, and there were maybe 10 people there, including me and the other funeral home staff. The service was going along as well as could be expected, when suddenly the man's ex-wife stood up and started yelling at the casket. She was saying things like, "You were a terrible husband and father, and I hope you rot in hell." The man's mother was sitting in the front row, and she started crying. The ex-wife then went up to the casket and started hitting it with her fists. The man's brother and a couple of other guys had to pull her away and take her outside. The service continued, but it was very awkward after that. After the service, we were loading the casket into the hearse to take it to the cemetery when the ex-wife came back. She had a baseball bat with her, and she started hitting the hearse with it. She was yelling, "I'm not done with you yet, you bastard." The police were called, and they had to escort her away.